So you're looking to get your first travel credit card, but you don't know which one to get. Don't worry, your boy Tito has your back. Let's go ahead and cover the top 8 beginner travel credit cards. Welcome back to Tito's Credit Cards, where we talk about credit card points and cashback, travel, and redemptions. If that's something that interests you, do me a favor and hit that subscribe and like button to help out the channel. There's no denying that there's a lot of different travel credit cards out in the market. If you go to Google and search travel credit cards, you'll probably come out with more questions than answers. That's why I thought it would be great and beneficial if we went ahead and covered the top 7 beginner/starter travel credit cards. Now, this list will not have every single travel credit card available, but it should give you at least a good list to get started and know where to go, as well as what credit cards to look at for your specific spending, as well as your end goals. The very first thing that we have to touch on is, what is a travel credit card? Well, with a travel credit card, you would earn points or miles for every transaction that you put on that credit card. And then you would be able to use those points or miles to redeem them for travel, whether that's hotel stays, flights, and even some activities. Also, unlike cashback credit cards where you would get your return at the end of the month, with travel credit cards, you're able to bank your points, meaning that you can save your points throughout the months, including throughout the years, and you would be able to utilize them for a bigger redemption. A quick note here is that there are some credit cards that you can utilize them for either cashback as well as travel. Credit cards like the Freedom cards from Chase, as well as the Citi credit cards, you can either use them for cashback, which is what they're meant for. However, at the same time, you can also transfer the points that you earn on both of these credit cards out to a different credit card, and you would be able to redeem those points for travel transactions. For the credit cards that we're looking at today, again, we're looking at the starter/beginner travel credit cards, meaning that the annual fee will be somewhere between $95 all the way to $250. Now, there are other much more luxurious travel credit cards that have some amazing perks, but again, the annual fee would hover anywhere around $400, $500, or $600 on an annual basis. So again, this is not the end-all be-all of all travel credit cards, but this is a great list of beginner/starter travel credit cards. And the last point that I definitely want to cover is that we're not taking a full deep dive into each single one of these credit cards. Rather, we're just going to go ahead and cover some of the highlights and some of the biggest selling points that you should know about these credit cards. If you do want a full deep dive review of any of these credit cards, let me know down in the comments below, and I can make sure to have that done here in the near future. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started with the first credit card. The first credit card on the list is the Bilt Rewards credit card. Right off the bat, I definitely want to tell you that I kind of lied to you when it comes to this credit card. This credit card does not have an annual fee. Unlike every other credit card on this list, this credit card would not charge you any kind of fee for you to have this credit card. So right off the bat, that should be a great reason to keep this credit card open. You don't have to find any benefits or any credits to keep it open, but as you see, there will be some great benefits and multipliers with this credit card. Also, this credit card does not have a welcome bonus, so it's a little bit of a double-edged sword if you think about it. It doesn't have an annual fee, but at the same time, it doesn't have a welcome bonus. So again, you give it and you take it away at the same time. The multipliers on this credit card are as followed. You would get 3x back on all dining transaction, 2x back on all travel transactions, and then you would get 1x back on everything else. And the biggest selling point on this credit card is that you would get 1x back on all rent payments that you put on this credit card. Just like every other travel credit card, this credit card does not charge you a foreign transaction fee, and it has some good to decent transfer partners. It doesn't have the biggest list of transfer partners compared to some other credit cards. So again, for a credit card that does not charge you an annual fee, it is great to see that you can transfer your points out to different transfer partners, including my personal favorite, Hyatt. So yeah, if you're a renter, I honestly see no reason for you to not get this credit card since it does not have an annual fee. You would get 1x back on your regular rent payments. It has some good overall multipliers, and also you would be able to transfer your points out to some good transfer partners. The next credit card on the list is a personal favorite of mine, and that is the Chase Sapphire Preferred Credit Card. Now, it does have an annual fee of $95. The current welcome bonus is 60,000 ultimate reward points after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months that you have this credit card. For that annual fee, it does offer a $50 statement credit whenever you book any hotel stays through the Chase Travel Portal with this credit card, so that would make the effective annual fee $45. The multipliers on this credit card are pretty good. You would get 5x back on all travel transactions that you book directly with the Chase Travel Portal. You would then get 3x back on all dining transactions. You would also get 3x back on online groceries, which, to be honest, I've had the card now for 3 years and I haven't utilized this multiplier, so kind of a dud for me, to be honest. You would get 2x back on all other travel, so other travel that is not booked directly through the Chase Travel Portal. You would get 3x back on all streaming services, and then you would get 1x back on everything else. Some of the highlights of this credit card is that you can utilize all the ultimate reward points that you have garnered on this credit card through the Chase Travel Portal, and you would get a 25% boost on your cent per point valuation. So instead of your points being worth 1 cent per point, they would be worth 1.25 cents per point, which doesn't sound like a lot, but hey, I will definitely take it. This credit card has a great list of transfer partners, including United Airlines, as well as my personal favorite, Hyatt. So again, this is a good credit card with some great multipliers and a great list of transfer partners. Now, a lot of people would say that the other Chase credit cards make this credit card irrelevant to the point that they don't even utilize, and I would totally agree. I don't use this credit card at all, other than my streaming services. So I don't really carry this credit card at all unless I'm traveling. The next credit card on the list is the World of Hyatt credit card. The annual fee on this credit card is $95. Now, if you go to Hyatt or Chase's website, it will say that the welcome bonus is 60,000 points. The actual welcome bonus is 30,000 points after spending $3,000 in the first 3 months that you have this credit card. However, if you spend at least $15,000 in the first 6 months that you have this credit card, technically you can earn the welcome bonus of 60,000 points, and I'll touch on that here in a minute. The multipliers on this credit card are as follows. You would get 9x back on all Hyatt stays, as long as you're a World of Hyatt member, which is a free membership that you can get. You would get 2x back on all dining transactions, airline tickets, gym membership, as well as transit. And then you would get 1x back on everything else. And just going back to the welcome bonus real quickly, the reason that you can technically get 60,000 points by 6 months is because you would get a 2x multiplier on all the other transactions. So again, yes, you're able to get a 2x back for the first 6 months that you have this credit card. But after those first 6 months, that multiplier would revert back to being the regular 1x on everything else. This credit card does come packed with a complimentary Discover status, meaning that you would get a free bottle of water, a late checkout, as well as complimentary room upgrades. This credit card would also provide you a free night award on any Category 1 to a Category 4 hotel every year that you have this credit card open. So there are some good highlights on this credit card, but being honest with you guys, I don't believe this is the best beginner/starter hotel travel credit card. The only reason that I'm including it on this list is because I do believe that Hyatt is the best transfer partner when it comes to your cent per point valuation. If you look at Marriott as well as Hilton, you will need a lot more points to book a general regular one-night stay compared to Hyatt. So this is not really on the credit card. This is much more on Hyatt's cent per point valuation that you would be able to get with those points. The next credit card on the list is the American Express Green Card. The annual fee on this credit card is $150. The welcome bonus on this credit card is that you would get 40,000 membership reward points after spending $3,000 in the first 6 months that you have this credit card. The multipliers on this credit card are amazing as well. You would get 3x back on all restaurants, 3x back on transit, and that includes trains, taxi cabs, rideshare services, ferries, buses, etc. You would also get 3x back on travel transactions like flights and hotels, as well as getting 1x back on everything else. There are two credits that you need to be aware of with this credit card. The first one is a 189 Clear Plus credit that you would be able to get in order to skip the security lines. And you would also get a $100 Lounge Buddy credit, where you would be able to access an airport lounge, and this credit would be able to be applied for the fee to get into that airport lounge. This might be the best travel credit card, especially if you live in a city and you use those services like rideshare services, buses, tolls, ferries, etc., like New York City or LA or Atlanta. This might be a great credit card for you that, again, I think the credits as well as the multipliers would be a better fit. American Express probably has one of the best lists when it comes to transfer partners, including Hilton as well as Delta. The next credit card on the list is the American Express Gold Card. The annual fee on this credit card is $250, and the current welcome bonus is that you would get 60,000 membership reward points after spending $6,000 in the first 6 months that you have this credit card. Almost the whole annual fee will be taken care by two different credits that this credit card has to offer. First one is an Uber/Uber Eats credit, and the second one is a dining credit, where both of these credits would give you a $10 increment every single month that you would be able to utilize, which would then equal to being $240 of credits every single year. Now, obviously, the big drawback here is that you would have to remember to utilize those credits every single month to make the effective annual fee $10 on this credit card, but it is doable. The multipliers on this credit card are also amazing. You would get 4x back on all grocery transactions, as well as getting 4x back on all dining transactions, and you would also get 3x back on all flight transactions, and then you would get 1x back on everything else. This is probably the best travel credit card on the highest spending categories that everybody will have, and that is dining as well as groceries. And yes, while this credit card has the highest annual fee out of all the credit cards that we'll mention on this list, as long as you remember to utilize those credits, the effective annual fee of this credit card would be $10, which is a steal, especially when you look at the multipliers that are available with this credit card. And it just dawned on me as I finished that I kept calling the Gold Card a credit card. It is not a credit card, it is a charge card, and there is a difference. We also have the Citi Premier credit card. The annual fee is $95. The welcome bonus would be 60,000 points after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months that you have this credit card. You would get 10x back on all hotel and car rental transactions that you put directly on the travel portal until June 30th of 2024. And then you would get 3x back on all hotel transactions, 3x back on all air travel, as well as 3x back on restaurants. And to top it off, you would also get 3x back on all supermarkets and groceries, and then you would get 1x back on everything else. Citi has a very good list of transfer partners like JetBlue as well as Wyndham. As you can see, this credit card has a lot of features just like the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, the Bilt Rewards credit card, so it shouldn't surprise you that a lot of the benefits would also be about the same. However, a reason that this is a great beginner/starter travel credit card is because of those multipliers. That is a great list of multipliers, especially for grocery transactions, restaurant transactions. And the last travel credit card is the Wells Fargo Autograph Journey credit card. The annual fee is $95, and the welcome bonus on this credit card is that you would get 60,000 points after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months that you have this credit card. Now, just like the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, it does have a $50 annual statement credit, but with the Autograph Journey credit card, that statement credit is available for any flight that you book on this credit card. And the multipliers on this credit card are that you would get 5x back on all hotel transactions, 4x back on all airline transactions, and then you would get 3x back on all dining transactions, and all other travel transactions you would also get 3x back. And then, obviously, you would get 1x back on everything else. This credit card probably has the shortest list of transfer partners compared to all the other credit cards, but again, it is a brand new credit card and a brand new program that is being launched. So I would definitely say check back in a year or two, and this credit card should have a lot more transfer partners than it currently does. The new kid on the block is definitely a great credit card with some good multipliers, especially because you don't really have to tie a travel portal to it. That's right, all the multipliers that we just covered, you can utilize those multipliers if you're booking your flights directly with the airline's website, or if you're booking your hotel stay directly with the hotel's website. As long as it's categorized as an airline transaction or as a hotel transaction, you would be able to get those specific multipliers, as well as your general travel transactions. As you can see, there are quite a few different travel credit cards that you can utilize as your first travel credit card. And again, just like I mentioned before, there are so many different other credit cards that we didn't even include on the list. With that being said, these are some great credit cards that would be able to give you a lot of benefits for a rather low annual fee charge. With that being said, I definitely want to hear from you guys. Which of these credit cards would you consider the best starter/beginner travel credit card, or would you select a different card as the best credit card overall? Let me know down in the comments below. With that being said, if you found any information useful during this video, please go ahead and click the subscribe button as well as the like button. Thank you, and I hope to see you in the next one. Adios.